Alright, gang. Today I thought I'd show you some of my flight jackets I've gathered up in the last, I don't know, year or so. So here's a B-3 flight jacket, and most of these, I mean, you don't want to buy these to wear them. I mean, if you want to wear these kind of coats, just go buy something modern. But unfortunately, all of them, like this one, the zipper's gone. But that'd be an easy fix. Most places that do leather repair won't repair the sheepskin, but they will repair the zippers. So this is a really large one, and you know, as far as I know, that these epaulets were used for like officers. So these coats were for the officers, but I could be totally wrong. But I had one coat one time. I think it had captain's bars on it. So let's take a closer look at this guy. So this is a huge one. Most of these kind of coats that you find are small. They're 38s, 40s. They're for much smaller guys. But this one here, unfortunately, when they made these coats back in the 30s and 40s, they treated it with, I want to say it's called aniline. It's a compound that actually promoted and hastened the destruction of the leather. So this one here, it says it's a 42, but then it also says it's a 46. You can just see B3 right there. And this one, AC drawing, HLB core. Oh, it's hard to really see. HLB core is the, so that's a really obscure one. And my take is that they had one pocket on these just for maps or paperwork. And my take is that they didn't want a second pocket on them because they didn't want to make their air crews look like ground crews. And they didn't want the people with their hands in their pockets type thing. I guess they just didn't think that was good presentation. That'd be my guess. And you'll note these ones don't have zippers for gauntlets. We'll flip it over. So this one's actually in really pretty good shape, but I really encourage you, if you buy these old coats, don't wear them. Just personally, I store them in tubs until I can get some mannequins to put a couple of them on. But they usually all blow apart in the shoulder. But this is I'm a 48-50. I'm a weightlifter, and so I'm kind of a big guy. And this coat could actually fit me. It's a really neat one. And but I would never wear it. You know, you can see those the buckles, the crumbs coming off them. So we've looked at this guy now. Let's look at. I got a couple of these. This is also a really neat one. This guy here is a really neat one. This guy, somebody replaced the zipper. It's not the right zipper, but you know, yeah, it's a piece of shit zipper because it's broken already. This one here, you can see B3 again, but no, I don't see a maker on there. It just says property, Air Force, U.S. Army, if you can make that out. This is a 42. This probably be the most common. And this one you can see has gotten some wear. What was wrong with this one? This one, the zipper was gone. And the cuff was kind of beat up. But there we go, one pocket again. And really neat old coat, isn't it? And then this guy, of course, when people sell you these, they like to fail to tell you what's missing if you buy them online or what's damaged, just because that's part of selling. Don't be very truthful. And And this one, like I said, this one here, you can see it doesn't have the epaulets. So that would give a little credence to my idea that this probably was a non-officer, a non-commissioned officer. His coat. Adjustments at the waist. Really neat old coat, isn't it? Just as neat as can be. You know, and the knockoffs, I'm going to show you a knockoff here in a bit that is identical. Just absolutely flawlessly identical. These would be great, you know, if you could wear these, it'd be great, but you know, if you wore them to an air show, I think you'd be fine, but that's it. Don't wear them. I mean, they've done their time. And then here is the pants. Now, all the pants are always hammered. This one, the zippers are gone. And I want to say the zippers are called Scoville zippers. I don't think I can get any closer on that. Yeah. Yeah, I want to say they're Scoville zippers. I don't think they're Conmar zippers. Zipper gone. There's your old school Army Air Forces insignia. And these are called B-1s. The Selby Shoe Company. So if you're making leather shoes back in the day, you probably made these too, because you needed income because it was wartime. And I mean, these be bitchin' cool if you're riding a bike, but you know, they're just too damn worn out. Usually they're worn out right there. The bottoms are worn out, and again, they treated these with that same type of, I want to say, aniline, A-N-I-L-I-N-E material. And my goal is to make a really neat B-17 presentation. So there's a couple B-3s. Oh, let's look at the really hammered B-3 I got in here. Let's see. Got a lot of stuff. Some people got huge collections. I'm not that bad. You know what? I want to say this one's a rough wear. This one actually came right out of the UK. I bought this from a guy in the UK. It's hammered. It's hammered. That does not look like the original zipper to me. Unfortunately, my camera does not really... I don't know if you need to see that. I can't see it. I'm standing right in front of it. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't even make out what that says. Swip? Yeah, that could be it. I'm not sure. Very tiny. But this could be a rough wear. We'll take a look here. And this one's really, really hammered. And it looks like Werber sportswear, and it's a 42R, and it's a B3. Looks like it says Werber there. Werber sportswear. Yeah, B3 42R. And once again, so I'm wrong. It's not a rough wear, but the colors are like a rough wear. And here's the downside on this one. This is a real bummer. I bought this because I had a guy lined up that was going to do some repair for me, and you know, they just fucking chickened out. But this one, somebody glued something on the back here, but this is a common rip. They're just blown apart in the back. But so if you were to repair this, you know, back in the day, I had a friend, and him and his wife ran a leather shop, and what we would do is we'd get really thin grade leather, thin gauge leather, and we would sew it into the seams and cover the damaged material, so we don't have to take it out and replace it, because nobody makes this anymore. At least I'm not aware of anybody that makes it. And so that's what we'd do. We'd sew in the new leather panels over the top of the hammered leather. And unless you really knew your coats, you just didn't know it, because we did a really good job doing that. But that's a really neat old coat too. And this one, I think one of these days I'm going to find somebody that'll do some work for me and do that repair. Has a bunch of small little repairs needed, but you know, I'm not going to wear them. I just want to fix them. And then this is an Eastman A-2. Now I guess Eastman, for the original owner of this coat, put a second pocket on here. For whatever, you know, just it's the customer's coat. That's how they want to wear it. But this is identical. Absolutely identical. Right down to the talon zipper. There's other folks that make fantastic coats, but Eastman is by far the top of the line. They are the Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Rolls-Royce of leather jackets. No doubt about that. And this is really how these coats should have been made in World War II. Because if they made them like this in World War II, they'd still be around in a usable way. You can see there, Eastman leather. And this one is, this one's a 44. And so these coats, like, believe it or not, I'm a 48-50, and this coat fits me. But you know, if I was going to buy one of these, I'd get like a 46, 48. But they're identical. Absolutely flawlessly identical. And so we just looked at a couple coats, and we saw some of them have, truthfully, about the same type of panels. I'm thinking about RAF coats. Yeah, so they've basically got 3 panels in the back. 1, 2, 3. And this is just a fabulous coat. You know, if I was working at Eastman Leather, I could definitely be selling these coats all day. But, you know, truthfully, I've never seen an original with the stamps on here. Never. So, I don't know. Maybe some of them have it, but I've yet to see it. Absolutely flawless coat. Beautiful coat. Some beautiful creature got killed for this one. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, let's look at this is a Navy G-1, and my mom was actually a commander in the Navy, believe it or not. And so if I find Navy stuff, I like to buy it. She's dead and gone. This belonged to Michael Finch, and from what I gather, he was a parachute packer, a master parachute packer on, let's take a look here. We got the Navy patches here, and that guy there, and American flag. Here's something really neat here. It's got all his patches on here, and he was on the Orion, the Nimitz, Theodore Roosevelt. I guess I would think he must have been a mechanic too, by some of these patches, or did some mechanic work. And but you know, these G1s are really fantastic coats. Some of them on the back will say U.S. Navy. I want to say those are the World War II ones. Personally, I think the G1s are an undervalued coat, and I really think that they're going to go the way of the A2s and be super expensive one day, especially these patched ones from the Vietnam era and the most recent American conflicts overseas. Neat coat, and they're tough as nails. These coats last forever. That one is a 46. So that's a very comfortable big coat. And yeah, it's just really neat. You know, a guy contacted me one time and told me that he thought that that this guy must have passed away or something really bad happened, because, you know, a guy who wore this would never have parted with his coat. And that very well could be. So I feel kind of honored to have it. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's look at some RAF stuff. Okay, this is, and I've shown this to you guys before, this is an RAF Irvin made by the Eastman leather folks. There's a lot of folks making RAF Irvins, especially overseas in the UK. If you want to ride motorcycles or snowmobiles, this is the coat to have. Looks like the tag's coming a little loose, but it's damn near identical. It is identical to the original. You can see it says Eastman down there somewhere. Yeah, this camera's just about at the end of its life. Eastman, that's a fantastic coat. And now, let's look at this. This is a set of RAF pants, which these are really hard to find. I don't really like putting values on things because, you know, you get what you pay for. You know, you want to pay nothing, you're going to get nothing. You want to pay, you're going to get quality. This one, we can see it's got a zipper on the bottom, a talon zipper. Okay, I was looking that it might have a AM zipper, an air ministry, but it does not. Big ass pockets. I don't know what they would have had in there. Maybe their paperwork. I'd like to think maybe they had a pistol, maybe they had a holster for that. And of course the seller was very careful not to tell me that looks like their dog had took a chunk out of it. But that's how people are. They're kind of deceitful. And these are big. These are for a big guy 38. But you know, if you wear them over your pants and you're a 34, they'd probably give you a lot of room. So, but that's what these pants look for. I've seen these quite often, but they're usually junked. But these are the folks that made these for the British. Well, the British made these for the British. They did not use the leather destroying chemical that destroyed all the B-3s and the M445s and the American flight jackets. So these guys would last forever. And you can see those are really in fantastic condition. Really neat. You can see what kind of buttons they used. But no RAF markings, no air ministry patches, nothing like that on these. At least I've never seen them with them on there. And so we looked at the Eastman A2, or the Eastman Irvin. We looked at some RAF Irvin pants. And now we'll take another look at, I think I've shown you guys this before. This is a, this is an original RAF Irvin flight jacket. This one, I was told, was also worn by American bomber crews. This specific coat, because it looks like it had like a redskin Indian motif, or you know, whatever that is. It looks like it says Pappy, or God, I couldn't tell you. But that's my guess. But this guy, no